Emma, congratulations. If you would, your thoughts on your performance today.
Yeah, I'm very pleased to have come through that match. First rounds are very challenging always. The nerves, and I think I had a little bit of the added, I wanted to win a match here really bad. So I'm really pleased to have got through that. And, playing Ena, she qualified, so she's played 3 matches in the conditions and would have been used to it. So I'm very happy with how I dealt with that.
Great. Thank you. Questions? Hands, one question each. Charlie.
Emma, well done. You mentioned there, and in your post-match encore interview about the fact first win here since winning the title. Was that something that's kind of been playing on your mind a little bit?
Yeah, it has been on my mind. It's been 4 years, and it's a very special tournament for me. I did feel different coming into it this year. I felt like I was doing the right things day to day, but still it's in the back of your head. So I'm just very pleased to have overcome that.
Tell us about your recommendation to go to the Frick collection. How did that conversation come up with your nonna, and when do you hope to go?
My nonna, basically, who it's not my actual grandma, but I'm like her adopted granddaughter, I'd like to think. She came and she's from New York, and she told me to go to the Frick collection. I've obviously been into my art a lot more recently, and it's reopened after I think 4 or 5 years of being under construction. So that would be really exciting.
Okay. Matt.
Well done today. I'm so curious. I mean, you had your big breakout in New York. Do you find how do you find the atmosphere here in terms of the interplay between the players and the crowds? And is it different than you find elsewhere?
I love the crowd. I really liked playing on Armstrong today. The crowd were great. I think New York is always different. It's a bit challenging in terms of just there's always so much going on, whether you're in the city at the hotel or on the way to the courts. There's traffic. It takes an hour, but it's something that we all kind of go through. And I personally love the buzz. I love how into it the crowd get. It's very different to Wimbledon, but I think that's what makes each slam so unique and so special, that there's a bit of a different feeling wherever you go.
Up to be more expressive yourself?
I think you can definitely, go for it, get the crowd involved. You see some of the American guys, they do it so well. And I think today I was very calm on the court, but I think the crowd love it if, you're getting pumped and celebrating a lot.
Chris.
Emma, well done today. Doing a piece on what it means for players to get their first win here in New York. 4 years ago, your first round win, it's overshadowed by the 6 that come after that. But can you take yourself back to that moment, beating Stephanie? I think it was on the grandstand. There was a lot of joy in your face when you got that win. Do you remember your mindset at the time and what it meant to you?
Yeah, I played her on 17, actually. I played Stephanie Vogel. I remember closing that match out was really difficult. I had a really long game to close the match out, serving for it, and some really cool kind of hot shots. I remember I got broken early in both sets and then broke back, but so many different emotions. I was playing very well, I felt, the whole summer that year. And then, but I was just nervous and just so happy to get my first win and follow up a good Wimbledon in 2021. So, yeah, a lot of good memories from that match.
Tamani.
How just curious, how differently do you prepare for opponents now in terms of in scouting, and how, if you kind of check film, and how much information do you want from your coach? Do you want data? Do you want it simplified? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I like watching the opponents. I think I'm probably watching less now. I just have a good awareness of the opponent, what they like to do, and a lot more centered around me. And I think I'm trusting myself, trusting my own abilities a lot more, and knowing that I know what I need to do on the court as well, not necessarily searching so much to the box, asking for what to do only if I feel like I really need it. And I think that's helped me keep myself in the match, my head in the match, rather than looking up, getting distracted, and kind of searching for something.
Howard, then David, then Willie. Howard.
Sort of connected to that, Francisco seems to speak a lot over there during the match. Not necessarily tactics maybe, but a constant kind of pattern. How much of that do you hear? How much of it do you take in? Is it just kind of part of the scenery when you're out there?
I really don't hear much at all. It's so difficult, and even if you're on the court and looking, you don't really hear it unless you're kind of lip reading. So it's really difficult unless you're at the box and you're speaking very close and looking. It's so hard to hear. So I probably don't take in much of what he's saying, but I think, you know, when I feel like I really need it, then I will go and look and will understand. But for the most part, especially when you're in a match like today, I felt like I was had most things kind of under control on my side of the court. I just want to stay in my zone and keep going with what I'm doing.
David.
Hi, Emma. Congratulations on the win. It's funny you were asked about your first round because I was actually curious to ask you about the round before that when you played qualies where there were no fans on the ground. And
Yeah.
I'm just curious what you remember about that week because it must have been very spooky a little bit to be on at a Grand Slam with no fans, and also you're one of the few people to experience this site with no one and sort of with everyone.
Yeah, it was a strange feeling, I guess. But to be honest, at the time, looking back, it was strange. But at the time, it felt normal. I mean, I hadn't really played any big matches. I was kind of playing a Brit tour, you know, a couple months before. There's not many spectators there in the Connaught Club, so I was kind of used to it. I just remember there was this one security guard who is still here working, and whenever I see him, you know, he was there from the very, very start, the first round of quali, second round, and all the way through to the final. And to see him around is really special. And yeah, we have a good bond, a good relationship off the court.
Willie.
In your journey from when you were the champion here until now, what do you consider the biggest milestones that have you feeling the way you do right now?
I think the biggest milestones are I put a lot of trust in what I'm doing with Francisco on the practice court. I think we're just working really well. We're doing the right stuff on the practice court, and I just feel like I'm improving, you know, and to take confidence from what I'm doing behind the scenes and not just I have confidence because I've won these matches on the tour. You know, I'm doing a lot day to day. It's going well and I'm enjoying it. You know, I'm enjoying getting better and the process of feeling like at the end of the day, I'm satisfied. I got a little bit better and just repeating it. And I think that's probably the biggest success and reason to why I feel the way I do right now.
Okay, two more in front here and then Charlie.
Just how would you kind of describe your emotions going into today, whether it was last night, were there nerves or anything like that? And then also just how, now that you have the first one under your belt, how are you looking at the rest of this tournament?
Yeah, I was nervous this morning after practice. There's not much time playing first on. You're kind of rushing to do things. I was nervous in practice afterwards. After I came out of the shower, I felt like I kind of just got into the zone, got my match kit on, and that for me is like a shift of like, okay, you're gonna get ready, lock in now. And then I relaxed and going on to Armstrong. I think getting that first game was really important. I think I started off really well and that helped relax me a lot, especially serving first game. Yeah, it was a confident start and then I felt like I could keep going.
Last question, Charlie.
And you mentioned before about how the US Open in New York is quite chaotic in lots of ways. Do you think that has contributed to the fact that this Grand Slam on the men's and women's side has had quite a lot of surprising results over the last few years?
I think it's different. I think for the women's side, we play with the different balls, lighter through the air, a lot faster. I personally really enjoy it. I think it gives me a bit extra, but I know some players don't always. I think, you know, the last slam of the year, everyone wants to do well, maybe added pressure. But I think also just the depth of the women's game in particular, it's there's a lot of fluctuating results throughout the whole season and players pick up form at different parts of the season. So I think it's just a accumulation of all of those reasons.
Thank you, everyone. BBC Radio.
You can send her after. Hey, everybody. Thanks.
Hello, Jen.
Well done, Emma. That was very quick work, ultimately. How did you rate your performance?
Yeah, I think I played well today. I think it was a very clean performance, and for a first round, especially where there are nerves, I broke a barrier of kind of not winning a match here for the last 4 years, so I'm very pleased about all of those things.
You were saying in the run-up to the US Open
in 4 years, so I'm happy to have just stopped that, and now I feel like I can just keep going without that in my head. It's still a place that I look at really fondly. I've had amazing memories here, and I think after today's performance, it's just about doing the right things, recovering, maybe get on the practice court a little bit now, and getting ready for my next round.
And is it a bit strange playing so early, especially given that this is the first Sunday start in US Open history? I mean, no one wants to lose by Sunday lunchtime, do they?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw the schedule and I was first day, first match, 11 a.m. You don't want to be out of the tournament by 12:30 on a Sunday. So that definitely was on my mind. But at the same time, if it goes well, you're done and you get the afternoon off, which is always really nice before your day off in between. So I'm very pleased I can kind of enjoy the rest of my day and kind of celebrate the little win of today and get ready for my next one.
We noticed your physio, Jerome Coupel, has arrived for the week. He's a very interesting guy, I've just been reading about it. He's worked with David Coulthard from Formula One and Tony McCoy from the world of horse racing. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, super good guy, very interesting and a character, and it's always nice to have him. He was at Wimbledon with me, and I thought it'd be good to have him here. So he just arrived, and it's helping me out. He's worked with a lot of F1 drivers, so we have a lot to talk about off the court as well, and horses, and I love horses. So yeah, he's special.
And he actually works with horses, doesn't he? He does
Yeah.
physio on horses. Is that a little bit weird?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I don't ask questions. It just seems to work on them. So I am a horse in my horoscope, so I don't know if that has any correlation.
Oh, maybe you're made to be together.
Yeah.
And then a final question, given that he's French and you now have a Spanish coach and a Spanish mixed doubles partner, will you be prioritizing either of those languages?
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit of Spanish with Francisco, and it's difficult because he teaches really quick when he explains, but I think I'm picking up some verbs and seem to be together some languages, but I'm hearing it a lot, so hopefully by osmosis I'll absorb some Spanish.
So are they semi-formal lessons or is it just picking up what you hear?
Picking up what